What it do, man? Welcome back to Mob Town Real Talk. Well, man, I'm your host, Lo.
And it's your girl Jackie New.
Hey, and we back at it with, man, Let's Talk About It Tuesday, man. Listen, I know the last time we talked, we was talking about Mayor Davis.
Right.
And about the budgets and not knowing,
all of the things that's going on, and we trying to figure it out.
Right. So I did a little research, and I came across a few things that I wanted to share with you guys today. One was called the unverified funds.
The unverified receipt report.
Okay, the unverified receipt report.
Then we got the budget expenditures, and then we got the profit and loss report.
Okay, well, we're gonna start off with the unverified receipts report.
So, unverified receipt, as far as how it's listed on the report, what it means is proof of purchase or of expense that cannot be automatically validated, matched, or confirmed within a company's database, app store, or financial systems. It often indicates missing, unconfirmed, or inaccurate information. Now, is this correct? It says that their unverified receipts add up to $816,900.60.
Yes, ma'am, that is correct. So listen, when you look at the unverified receipts, let me see it. When you look at the unverified receipts, you got a lot of things on here like a door. I don't know what a door is. It's an ACH withdrawal, which means it came out the bank. Mm-hmm. You got a CDBG grant, mm-hmm. which is like a HUD grant. We're gonna put on the screen what exactly what that means as well.
Okay.
A lot of this stuff doesn't tell you exactly what it was spent on, and this report is back from back in November 2025.
For 1 month?
For 1 month.
$800,000?
Yep, $800,000.
It's almost $1 million.
So they spent in 1 month. At least that's how they got it on this paperwork. They spent $816,960 is what it's saying on this report. But a lot of this is unverified receipts report, which means they can't verify, or they can't verify
so
really
that's
well.
Not even a part of the budget.
I guess it ain't, because it ain't verified. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And just to be clear, this is stuff that I believe went on before the lady Mayor Davis took office. So, and I'm not bashing the prior administration, and I'm definitely not bashing the new administration. I'm just trying to get a people who may not understand, what's going on, a little bit more clear view of how to find out what's going on. They have a website you can go on, and that website can tell you anything from who's over what district. You got 5 districts in Prichard. You can look at who's over each district. You can also go on this website and look at the profit and loss statements. You can look at the unverified receipts. Mm-hmm. You can look at what's the other one, the budget, the budget expenditures.
Expenditures, the fixed expenditures. I guess that's the budget. Yeah. And the revenue report.
Cool deal. So we'll be putting that on the screen for you guys so you guys can see it and walk you guys through it. And we learning along just like you guys, right, man. So
we're not trying to judge or be biased, because we're just trying to figure it out too.
And so, like, we also got a video. We also have a video where we was looking at. I guess it's a lady. She's with the prior administration, and she was trying to get some paperwork together for like the. I guess what would you call it?
She was with the current administrator.
Well, yeah, the current.
And she was saying that it was only 3 of them in that office, and within the first 3 months, they wasn't able to balance all of the accounts in order to give them an accurate account of the money that they had spent.
Right, and so they were saying that they wouldn't be able to do something until she was able to get.
She wouldn't be able to give them an account until after she balances out the previous administration.
And a lot of times, man, I also want to add that, man, honestly, just my personal opinion from what I'm seeing. And like I say, I'm not bashing the prior administration. I'm not bashing the current administration. Man, something just don't add up correctly when it comes to the financial reports. Now, I could be wrong. I think that the report that I got it's only showing 1 month,
Mm-hmm.
and it's only got one thing on there from October, which was the CDBG grant that they got. And so um that was one thing that I saw. Everything else was based off of a month. You get what I'm saying? And so I don't know if this report's supposed to come out every month.
This every fiscal year.
Oh, okay.
Year, which starts from. Let me see. Let me make sure before I state it incorrectly. But I do know it's from October the 1st to September the 30th. Now that was 5 months ago where the video was created.
Right.
And at those, that was 3 months into the administration.
Right.
This is 5 months later where we're at now.
Right.
And they still don't have anything as far as this is concerned.
And so let me ask this. Do you believe that it's supposed to show month by month for the fiscal year? So it supposed to show from January to whenever that year's supposed to end?
Of course. Because don't you do your checkbook and your balance your bills from month to month?
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, I would think so. And if it's for a whole fiscal year, only 1 month is being reported. That's not really adding up.
Yeah. So man, we learning along with you guys, and we doing our best to give you guys the best information we can. We're gonna be reaching out to some other people. And like I say, man, we're going to try to catch one of the meetings as well so that we can hear about what's going on, see if we can find somebody to talk to.
Let them know when the meetings hit. Maybe they want to come out. The next city council meeting will be held on the 23rd at 4 p.m. at the city hall, right?
Yep, City Hall, yep.
So if anybody wants to show up and just out of curiosity or, trying to find out information to make sure that your money as a citizen of Prichard is being handled and orchestrated right, or you got concerns, you can come out to the city council because we plan on being there.
Yeah. And so just having the proper information, and we want to try to make sure when it's certain words that you don't understand, when it's certain things you don't understand, we can break that down to you guys. Matter of fact, let's go into one of the reports. So if you look at, we're going to try, let me see. We'll go with this one. The budget expenditures.
It says that the budget expenditures is the total amount of money actually spent on or paid out by a government organization or individual within a specific period, usually a fiscal year, to fulfill planned activities, services, and obligations.
So that's what this report is. All right. On this report, when you go to the website and you download this report, you may see some things you may not understand, like the AMIC. I didn't know what that was, so I had to look it up. And so she has what that is.
The AMIC is the Alabama Municipal Insurance Corporation, and that helps to insure the police department and the Municipal Worker Compensation Fund.
And also, you may have to pull this one up on your phone. You have the SARPC, and you can see what they spent on that. But if you don't know what the SARPC is, we finna tell you.
So the SARPC is the South Alabama Regional Planning Commission. It's a locally controlled governmental organization serving Mobile, Baldwin County, and Escambia counties, and 29 municipalities, providing community development, transportation planning, and economic development and senior services. So I guess it's just saying that that's like the community stuff with the busings, sidewalks, stuff like that. And how much did they spend?
They spent $3,500.
$3,500.
You thinking what I'm thinking? They spent $20,000 on McPherson.
Oh, that's oil.
Oil, okay.
So evidently, they got oil from McPherson and oil through Love's, because I'm assuming that Love's will also be the gas station.
Right, because it say paid out. But what we're looking at is their monthly payroll is $460,000. Blue Cross Blue Shield they spent on workers and everything was $82,479.57. Pensioners for people who got pension plans, $41,142.01, and then fire hydrant for the water, Nope, I said that wrong. Pensioners was $69,511.19. And then fire hydrant was $41,142.01. And then the AMIC was $71,598.60. And I could go on, but you guys, it'll be on the screen so you guys could see it. And if you go to if you also look on the screen, you'll see that they, from what I'm looking at, it says total 900,077 $977,952.84 fixed monthly.
So that's the fixed budget that they are
That's
not
what I'm
supposed to
guessing.
go above.
That's what I'm guessing.
Okay,
I
that's what
don't-
fixed mean. Fixed mean like it stopped right there.
And so, but it also has 120,000 council and mayor discretionary. Hey, that's how you pronounce that?
That sounds about right.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And then you got the total. So you guys see the total. And then you can go down and see all the bills that they pay, current liabilities.
And discretionary means available to the use at the discretion of the user. So that's like that's just money that they just give them on top of their salary, I'm assuming.
I guess so.
But
So these are things people need to know and ask questions about. You know, when y'all talking to y'all, when y'all at y'all council meetings, man, y'all might want to,
Pull
get a
these things
breakdown, pull this stuff up, break it down, go to your councilman meetings and ask questions about what you don't understand and try to get a better understanding of what's going on.
this is a budget for a month or a year.
That's what I was saying. I think that's a monthly budget,
Okay.
fixed monthly.
Oh, okay. Because this is unverified receipts. That's for a month too, and it's almost the same amount as that.
So this, you know what I'm saying? So this is a monthly budget. So
It's almost $2 million a month that they have access to.
and I don't know if they take down what they spent for the, each month, because, you don't have each month, you know what I'm saying? You don't see what they spent for each month. When you go on their website, it's just only showing you November.
I'm sure they're supposed to though. So that's November of 2025.
And so you can also look at their profit and loss statement. You can see what they spent a lot on. And the profit and loss statement give you more detail on what they spent money on. I told 24th to September, yeah, so this is their yearly budget, right? This is what they spent in a year right here.
I know the end number was like $300. I wonder what
Nah.
is that what's left?
Yeah, but if you want to learn, man, just start going into this website, pulling up the profit and loss statements, pulling up your budget expenditures, and pulling up your unverified funds. And hopefully, man, they'll do better about putting the information out monthly or however they supposed to put it out. But whenever they supposed to put it out, I hope they start making sure they got every month covered for you guys, so you guys can see what's being spent, so you guys can see what's going on.
And then we can make sure that they are being accountable.
Right. So
it's easy to get away with stuff if you ain't got a report.
Right. And then a lot of times, man, you got to think, man, you got accountants, so a lot of times, man, and I'm not pointing the finger at nobody, but in situations like this, man, it could be anybody taking money. It could be a mayor, it could be a council, it could be the entire council, it could be an accountant, you know what I'm saying? It could be anybody taking money. So y'all got to we got to get down to the bottom of where's all the money going and what's holding Prichard up from moving forward and being a better community. And so that's what we got in the Prichard news, for it's like what's going on in the city.
Mm-hmm. Now we also want to get on code switching, right?
Yeah, man. I want to talk about code switching, man. Man, at first I really didn't even know what code switching was, man. And I used to code switch and didn't even know I was code switching. And so people who are unfamiliar with code switching is, I'm gonna let you explain it because you're a lot better at explaining.
I just pulled it up. Code switching is the practice of alternating between languages, dialects, accents, or behaviors to fit into different social, professional, or culture contexts. Like when you go into a business, you change your pronunciation of certain words, or you change up your whole orb and energy how you're being, because you can code switch without even saying something.
Right.
You can code switch in your attire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, see, I do that a lot too. I do that a lot. So listen, code switching is just what she said. You know, and I'm gonna give y'all a prime example of it, man. And it's something I have to get onto a lot of the young guys about. Man, when you on jobs, a lot of times you young guys want to leave from your neighborhood and y'all want to go on to your jobs and y'all want to use the N word. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna say y'all want to say the word nigga. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, you can't. You got to learn that type of word is not supposed to be used everywhere you go. You get what I'm saying? Really, man. Me personally, I try not to use it at all. But a lot of times you guys be on jobs and y'all just throwing that word out. And I was in a situation where I was at work and a young man was using that word, and it made the other ethnicities uncomfortable. One of them was so deep into the conversation with the young man that, you know, he ended up saying it. You know what I'm saying? And then the young man got mad. You get what I'm saying? But yet y'all are in a fluent conversation. Right. That didn't give him the right to say it, but he got caught up in the moment as well. And so, man, you know, let's also think about this word in this term too. So, what good is the word? Like, what does it do for you? Like, and what benefits come from it? Does it benefit you outside of your neighborhood? Does it benefit you outside of your circle? I beg to differ. No, it don't.
Well, I ain't gonna lie, I have a potty mouth, and so when it comes to the word nigga or any other offensive word, I understand what you're saying, because it don't do any good in certain settings. Now, the reason why a lot of times I just say what I want to say anyway is only because of my free will. But I understand it's hurtful sometimes. You self-sabotage with how you conduct yourself,
right,
and you're not even realizing it because it's so natural in your behavior. You probably should check yourself, and you probably would have got through doors you probably wouldn't have gotten through had you known how to code switch.
Right.
Now, the thing about code switching though, sometimes I be feeling like that makes me fake though. You know what I'm saying?
No.
And that's the part that, remember, well.
So you fake if I'm talking to you today, and I'm like, my nigga, what you was up to today?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then I go to the doctor, and I be like, Doc, man, listen, I don't know what's going on with my back, but man, Mr. Doctor, my back is really killing me.
Exactly.
I ain't gonna go to the doctor and be like, man, Doc, please help a nigga, man. Nigga back killing him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna say that.
And when you go to your mama or your grandmama, you ain't gonna talk like that either.
No, you're not. And you're not gonna go on no interview and use that word.
True.
You're not gonna go to the bank and say, man, give a nigga his money out this bank. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna say that.
True.
You get what I'm saying? So the word is useless.
Not just that word.
A lot of your words.
So, because, you know,
a lot of words are useless.
People like to use polar extremes, and it's just all or nothing. It's
break that down.
So what I mean by polar extremes is like black and white. Is if there's no other colors in between that. So it's like yes or no, as if there's not a maybe or a sometimes. So it's like, to me, that's the reason why I said with the free will and the fakeness. I like to use percentage levels in everything. And you even said this too. You was like, well, you know, I may use it and I may not, but it's just not what you do, is how you do it. So, right. And it's not what or how, sometimes it may be when you do it. So right. You kind of help me balance out the way I'm even looking at curse words, and not just the word nigga, all of them.
I appreciate that. And like I was explaining to her, we had this conversation the other day. I was telling her, it's like, you know, I may slip and cuss every now and then, right? Because I'm human. But I just try to keep myself to a higher level because I got tired of coming up and then coming back down. So let me give you a prime example. Like when you go around your mom or your dad, you stop cussing. You give your mom and your dad respect. At least that's the generation I'm from. I'm pretty sure you from that generation too. You give your mom and your dad and your grandmother, grown people in general, you give them the respect of watching your mouth when you're around them. You're not doing all that talking crazy. You're not using those words like nigga. You're not using cuss words and just being belligerent. You're not doing that. But when you get around your peoples, you switch up, you code switch, and you go back to being that way. But when you around your mom or your dad, you bring yourself to your highest level, right? Me, I got to the point to where I just got tired of bringing myself to a level only to reduce myself back down. So I try not to reduce myself back down. I try to just stay at that high level and just conduct myself in a business and in a professional way at all times. I still joke, I still laugh, I still, do all the things I do. I'm just more cognizant of what I'm gonna do. You get what I'm saying?
So why you look at it as a reducing of yourself, though?
Because like, for me, man, it's too much. You know what I'm saying? It's too much for me to be able to be like to say, man, when I get around my mom, I gotta watch my mouth. Have you ever noticed when some people, man, they around their parents and they so used to using the words that they use that they have to say, "Oh, my bad, mama, my bad. Oh, my bad. Mama, I apologize. Oh, my bad, pop." You know what I'm saying? Because they done got so familiar with the words that they using. You get what I'm saying? They done got so comfortable with the words that they're using that they forget to turn it off. They forget the code switch.
Right.
Because it became a part of them. You get what I'm saying? So for me, you know what I'm saying, I just try to keep myself at that level. You get what I'm saying? I don't like going back and forth with things.
Right.
Not even myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't like going back and forth with nobody. I don't like going back and forth with another man about a situation. I want to be able to talk about it. I don't like going back and forth with no woman about no situation. I just want to talk about it. You get what I'm saying? I ain't with the foolishness. So a lot of the times, man, I'ma always come as my best self, no matter where I'm at. I'ma come as my best self. I don't want to get out of pocket. I don't want to talk crazy. I don't want to be disrespectful when there's other women in the room or when there's other men around. You know what I'm saying?
So what if you're in a situation where it is appropriate to cuss and use these curse words? Because it's kind of like that's a polar extreme, low key. I'm going to challenge you a little bit.
Go ahead.
Because at the end of the day, a word is just a word.
It's just a word.
You know what I'm saying? And I know it's like in this interview, you ain't going to hear me say a cuss word because that's not appropriate.
Right.
But I may go and have a good time and want to cuss because it feels good to say it.
And that's okay.
So it's appropriate.
It's appropriate. But what I'm getting at is you got to know, for me, it's appropriate. But I mean, for me, man, I just like to keep myself at a different level. You get what I'm saying? And I like that, and that's nothing. I'm not mad at nobody if I'm at a get together or I'm at a function and we having a good time, we having a few drinks or whatever you got going on. If you want to cuss, you cuss. I ain't judging you.
No, it ain't about.
You get what I'm saying? If you want to cuss, you cuss. What I'm saying is for myself, I just like to challenge myself to be great at all times. I want to wake up and be great at all times.
But that's why I asked you, how is that a reducing?
Because if I go back down, I'm like saying, well, man, listen, before I got to where I am in my life, man, I used to cuss. I used to use the nigger word left and right. You get what I'm saying? But when I got to where I was in my life, man, I realized there really was no need for none of it. Like, for me, you get what I'm saying? It's just really no need for none of it. You get what I'm saying? And man, I realized that, and I can't speak for no other man. I'm not judging nobody. I'm only speaking for Apollo Edwards. That's the only man I'm speaking for. I'm not speaking for now another man. I'm not speaking for now another woman. I'm speaking strictly from what convicts my spirit.
And then when it comes down to people's evolution and evolving in life, it is important to understand, to know when to hold and when to fold. So it is a standard.
Right.
Right. I just feel like the polar extremes is what confuses people who is coming up learning.
And also, you got to also understand this too, man. It's like drugs. Some people may have a drink every now and then. That's okay. But then some people may abuse the drink. Some people may smoke a little bit every now and then. Some people wake up and can't and got to smoke weed constantly, all throughout the day. So everything can be abused. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of times, man, when you said the potty mouth, most people who got a potty mouth, you know what I'm saying, they so free to do what they want that they ain't governing it. And everything got to have a governor. You get what I'm saying? Everything got to have a governor. You get what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Well, man, you know,
They loud as I don't know what out
yeah,
there.
man, we had the blues show, y'all.
I wonder if they can hear it on the microphone.
Right. And so that's one of the things that's important to me, you know what I'm saying, to just always conduct myself in a certain manner. When I'm around your family, man, if I meet your mom or your kids or whoever I come in contact, I want to show up as the best version of myself. I want them to always remember, man, that guy, remember that guy, he was just well respected, you know what I'm saying? Like he respected us. You know, he didn't use crazy language. He embraced us. He showed us love. He had a good spirit about him, a good aura about him. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I practice. You get what I'm saying? And it, like I said, it's nothing against nobody else. It's just my calling on my life. That's what it is. You know, and I ain't gonna debate that. You get what I'm saying? Because that's just my calling. And I went to a function one time. I'm gonna say this. I went to a function one time, and my wife was like, babe, go get me, if you don't mind, go get me a Coke. So I was like, all right, babe, I'll go get you a Coke. So I goes to the bar to get the Coke. My cousin was working the bar. So I say, cuz, let me get a Coke. He said, man, we out of Coke, cuz. I said, well, I tell you what, man, let me get 2 Sprites. So he give me 2 Sprites. One of my other family members, you know who I'm talking about. I ain't gonna say no name, but one of my other family members say, you ain't drinking? I said, nah, man, I'm not drinking. Cousin say, well, I'm drinking. This is a special occasion. I look at the cousin and say, okay. Like, okay, cool deal. Like,
He wants you to drink with him.
you know what I'm saying? Nah, it's they thinking I'm judging them.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? But I ain't judging you. I wouldn't even stand you. But what that was that was the conviction on you. That was your conviction. That was your spirit convicting you, and you was just trying to project how you was feeling back towards me.
That's just like you were saying about that person who was at your job and he kept saying the N word over, and he made the other person who was a different ethnicity slip up and say the word too.
Right.
And it's kind of like, because I know when I talk, depending on my vernacular, how I'm talking, like the vibe that I'm in, I'm expecting the same type of thing back and forth.
Right.
And as soon as you don't give it to me, then I feel like, what is that? That'll, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, you're right.
So you know, man, that's code. We was talking about code switching. A lot of this has to do with code switching. Me, I think code switching is cool, depending on how you're using it. I think, like you say, if it's a certain way you should dress when you go into an interview. You get what I'm saying? It's a certain way you should conduct yourself when you're going in certain rooms. So I think code switching is appropriate. The only time I feel like I need to code switch is only when I'm changing clothes. Because my demeanor and my character gonna always stay the same.
That's what I was gonna say. Because code switching, going back to the fakeness, I ain't saying you fake for code switching because I do it. But at the same time, I would love to be so equalized and at a balanced state to where everything that I do from day to day is what is attracted to me and where I'm supposed to be at. And if it's like me, then I can't do nothing. It would be only appropriate for me to be me. It ain't about cussing. It ain't about whatever the case may be. So when it comes to code switching, that's why I'm not saying that you fake for code switching. Because I code switch. Because like I was saying, when we having a conversation back and forth and I'm acting a certain way and you don't give it back to me, now that let me know, oh, I got the code switch. I got to start acting like this person acting.
Nah, what for me, this is how I get down. If I'm in a room and I feel we ain't vibing, long as it ain't no disrespect, I'm gonna be me and I'm gonna let you be you and I'm gonna go on about my business. Yeah. I see we just ain't vibing.
That's that balanced state. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I'm comfortable enough with who I am that I ain't gotta come down on no man or no woman level. I'm just that comfortable with who I am as a man. I ain't gotta ever come down on no level to feel like I gotta balance out with you. I'm gonna be me all day long, every day of the week. You get what I'm saying? So when you get Paulo, if I come into a room and I'm sitting down talking to you, man, and I'm gonna keep it like this here. I go to rooms all the time, right? I go in places all the time, I'm not a big. I played sports. I played football. I played basketball. Man, I don't be watching basketball like that. I don't be watching football like that. So a lot of times I feel out of place when I go to certain places. All the guys in now, they talking about basketball. All the guys in now, they talking about football. I'm a boxing fan. I watch a lot of boxing. Everybody know that about me. If you around me, you've been around me, I love boxing. So when I'm in certain rooms, I really don't know much about football and basketball because I don't watch like that. So I feel out of place. So I'm not fin to try to fake the funk with you and be like, man, you know, such and such doing this here.
That's cold switching.
And I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I ain't got time for that. I know a good game when I see one, but who all these folks is,
That's
man?
a perfect example.
You know what I'm saying? Who all these folks is? I don't know who all these folks is. I ain't finna try to fit in.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
That go back to the fakeness when it comes to code switching, because that's an example of code switching. Because everybody in the bar are doing what they doing. I ain't finna be fake and act like I like what y'all got going on. I don't even know nothing about it. But then that's how the world's set up. You do have to be appropriate, and you should know what being appropriate is. It go back to me saying about being a balanced individual, and whatever you have around you is that's a reflection of you. So if I'm always doing that, and everything is a reflection of me to some degree, then that means everything is accepting to me. Especially if I'm a balanced individual and I accept myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So let me tell you what balance is for me. Balance for me is waking up knowing that I ain't sell myself out. You know what I'm saying? Balance for me is I ain't gotta wake up and feel like I let somebody play me or reduce myself down and come down on your level. You know what I'm saying? That's balance for me. Balance for me is knowing that every time I come in contact with Jackie, every time I come in contact with Miss Danielle, you know what I'm saying, or anybody of that I care about dearly. When I come in contact with these people, I want you to look at me and say, man, he don't never change.
Yeah.
So I don't have on time. Like I say, the only time I'm a cold switch is when I'm changing clothes.
Right. I feel you on that.
That's the only time I'm a cold switch. You know what I'm saying? Because
you know what's appropriate in any situation.
And I ain't meant to be in every room.
Exactly.
I ain't meant to be in every room. You get what I'm saying? Like I tell you, a lot of time when we do these videos, you do the reading. I come on here and be straight up with you. I don't care. I ain't the best reader. You get what I'm saying? I'm not some guy that think he's smarter than the whole world. I'm trying to learn just like everybody else.
So I guess what I'm saying is I don't, like you saying for real, I don't want to be in situations where I have to code switch. You know, even at work, because if I know I ain't doing nothing wrong, I know how to be appropriate. I know, okay, let me chill out because this elderly lady in here and be respectful. That's a part of my nature, being respectful and appropriate. So that ain't got nothing to do with code switching at that point. So if I'm at a job, I got to change up who I am. I don't really want that job like that.
Right.
So that made me have to live in a fake identity.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, but that goes back to this here too. So like on my job, I'm gonna give you a prime example. You got to cut a beard sometimes to do a fit test, which is wearing a respirator. Sometimes that respirator can't get tight if you got a beard, so they want you to cut it off. You get some guys that feel like, man, I ain't gonna cut my beard off. I ain't gonna this, I ain't gonna that, right? But this is the thing for me, right? If somebody say, well, Paulo, you need to cut your beard off to get this job, continue keeping your job or whatever. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm gonna probably cut the beard because that's the criteria of the job. I knew that when I signed up for it, right? So, and these are the rules and regulations, right? So, but I do understand that I can grow this beard back once this fit test over with.
Right.
So, am I gonna make a scene just because I don't want to cut my beard off? Am I gonna get out of character just because I don't want to cut my beard off? Man, so I'm gonna mess up my bag. I'm gonna mess up how I take care of my family. You know what I'm saying?
That go back to them polar extremes. You got to use percentage level. Weigh it out. If it causes me to do too much, that's too fake. No. But if it ain't, it's just a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
And you know that goes back to a prime example. Something I saw in the news. My wife said, you gonna talk about it? I said, yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. I said, I got to. I saw something in the news the other day. with a young man. And man, to my young guys, man, a lot of times y'all don't realize that the things y'all out here doing ain't even worth doing. Y'all got moms who care about y'all. Y'all got kids who care about y'all. And yet y'all get out here and do something for a few little dollars, man. You know what I'm saying? Just to get yourself in some trouble, just to get yourself arrested. I ain't gonna go too much into depth about it. You get what I'm saying? But a lot of the things we do don't make sense because a lot of times people are doing things because they don't even understand who they really is.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? So when people don't understand who they really is, that's when you gotta code. You know what I'm saying?
You're doing it by default because you don't even.
You trying to figure out who you is.
Yeah.
You trying to figure out who he is. So when a lot of people don't even know who they is, that's why they do what everybody else do.
Right.
That's why they do what everybody else do. You know what I'm saying? You got people that will literally sit down and watch football every day just to learn it so they can fit in circles.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You got people who switch their lingo up just so they can be around certain people.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? You got people that do certain things just so they can fit in because they not familiar with who they is.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with who I am.
That's the reason why I feel like this, even in this sit down, because we know how to communicate without having to agree with one another either. And that's giving different perspectives because this person may feel this way. This person may not know how to feel. This person may understand. But then once you balance it out and bring some type of understanding and middle ground to what the truth is, then you figure out what the truth is for yourself.
Right. And I'm not, and just to be honest with you, I'm not in disagreements with you. I'm just speaking from my personal way of living. You get what I'm saying? That's why I say, man, I don't mind if I'm around somebody and that's what they doing, they cussing. Man, what do you?
Mm. Well, see, I feel what you're saying too. I ain't necessarily disagreeing either, but it's still two different perspectives.
You get what I'm saying?
You know what I'm
Do
saying?
you smoking weed? Listen, I know how to stand over there. I still talk to you. You know what I'm saying? I'll wait till you finish blowing. You get what I'm saying? And come back. Listen, man, I'm still me. It's certain things that I want for my life.
Yeah.
It's certain things that you know what I'm saying? When it's all said and done for me, you get what I'm saying? I want to be able to say, man, listen, I did it my way.
Yeah, you did what you thought.
And I did what I thought. Best. I did what was pleasing to my spirit.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And as long as I can wake up and do what's pleasing to my spirit, man,
that's the only thing that matters.
That's all that matters at the end of the day.
Because you the one got to sleep in your skin.
Yeah,
and have
you know what I'm saying?
Before you go to sleep.
Yeah. You know, I know what it feel like to you let somebody play you. And then you go back and flash out. You know what I'm saying?
And can't stop thinking about the few words you said that you should have said more about.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So so for me, I'm aware of those when you bring yourself to a higher level for yourself, you get more clarity on those situations. When you get to a point where you want to be at and you comfortable with everything you got going on in your life, you're gonna see them situations coming. You're going to see them situations coming. And a lot of time, man, you're going to keep it 100 with yourself. You're going to say, man, I already knew this person was like this. I don't even know why I was around.
Yeah, you be seeing them coming even when you don't know.
You know what I'm saying, man? I already knew this person was like this. I don't even know why I was around. But once you understand who you is.
Yeah, you ain't going to attract too many of that.
And when you do encounter them, you know that y'all will never, ever go down that lane because you know who you is at that point. You know, man, okay, you know who they is and you know who you is. And you know when something don't seem right or something don't please your spirit, hey, man, this is time for me to put it on down.
But if you don't know who you are, you just steady testing the waters trying to figure out what is this.
Man, what's going on? What happened?
I'm tripping.
Yeah, that way. You know what I'm saying? So, man, you know, man, I'm at a point, and like I said, I don't judge nobody. I'm just trying to live out my higher self because I done already seen death before. You get what I'm saying? Everything you think about, I done shot at people. I done sold drugs. I done been to jail. I done been on house arrest. You know what I'm saying? I done been on probation. You know what I'm saying? I done been broke. You know what I'm saying? It ain't too much I ain't been through. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, I might as well just work on just trying to be my best self and take myself to the highest level I can. And if that means in my spirit and in my skin to change up a lot of the things that I say and do, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? And then, man, my grandson is like one of the peoples that when I see him, I be like, man, what I want to be remembered for.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Like, what type of guy I want my grandson to say his granddaddy was. You get what I'm saying? That means something to me. See, a lot of these cats out here, man, they out here doing all this because they ain't got to this level. I pray a lot of these guys get out of jail and get out of prison and really get their wake-up call. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them, they don't realize, man, the situation I was talking about earlier, I'm gonna go back to that about the young man who got into the trouble. We just said on the last episode that what you put out into that atmosphere, it's gonna come back at some point. You know what I'm saying? And the deficit is gonna be so high you can't afford it.
Yeah.
Guess how much his deficit costed?
How much?
You in jail, no bond probably, or if he got one, you gotta wait. And then get what? Now you got probation. You got to kick out money that you probably ain't even got.
And you losing time.
And
the
you
most
losing
valuable
time.
thing of it all.
Guess what? I was reading an article there about a man. I want to say, I don't know if it was in Montgomery or Birmingham. They finna give him the death penalty. K.I., the mayor of Alabama, she finna give him the death penalty. And he killed 2 people and shot a lady, shot a clerk back in 2000. I want to say, back in 2000. And when we get the chance, we'll put that article up as well. But he shot the lady, he killed 2 people, and they gave him the death penalty. I don't know I'm not saying that man is guilty. I'm not saying that he's innocent. Because I wasn't there, I don't know.
Right.
But what I will say is if he did do it, the universe is, that deficit, look at what his deficit is. You get what I'm saying? What you put out in the universe,
it's gonna come back one
it
way or the
came
other.
back, and the deficit is way too much for you to afford. It's costing you your life now.
Right. That's why I like to go back to what you said about the individuality and knowing what's for you and what ain't for you. Because to me, like a sin, when you sin against yourself, that's when it got to come back around.
That's that conviction. See, people don't understand conviction. You get what I'm saying? Conviction is, a lot of people think when they hear sin, they just think you talking about God.
Yeah, talking about
that's the God in
10
you.
Commandments.
That's the God in you.
Yeah. You know what's right for you and what ain't. Well, you got to grow to know that.
Yeah,
sometimes.
when your spirit say, when you feel something in your spirit, like, man, it just ain't right.
Something ain't right. You're going to find out eventually.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was telling you about the drink. That was a conviction. I ain't say nothing about you drinking. I ain't even asked you what you were drinking. You get what I'm saying? But get what? Oh, it's a special occasion. I'm drinking. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying nothing to you.
He trying to get you to drink too, or make yourself feel better by drinking.
But that, you know what I'm saying? It didn't bother me none. That's why, man, I one thing about me, man, and we was talking about, also we was saying something about, you know, the code switching and being in your circles. You want to be in your circles and do a lot of things because you ain't understanding who you is. A lot of times you really look at your circle, you don't have a real circle because a lot of the people that you hanging with are incomplete. So if they're incomplete, how do you have a circle?
It's a void mirror. Right.
A lot of people are incomplete.
You're supposed to be able to learn from the people that you're around, and the first people that you're supposed to learn from is your family, and then we got broken families. So now everybody just don't know nothing. So you look at your friends who also come from broken homes, who also don't have an image or an example as a father to know who they are. Now you trying to figure out everybody. I wrote a scripture about this too. I might read that one day. But everybody trying to learn from lostness.
Right.
So blind leading the blind.
Right. And so, man, you want to get into your weather?
Oh yeah, let's talk about the weather real quick. So, all right. So this is being filmed on Tuesday.
Right.
Well, this is being aired on Tuesday. And before we get started, just understand that we are following the moon cycle to help us sync and connect to the natural flow of life itself. Just know that the sun relates, we're talking about the sun and moon. The sun relates to an expression. That's why it's bright. That's why it's a light. That's why it creates growth. That's why you need it in order to live and to stand up and breathe. So the sun relates to expression, sight, or an image. You can't see without the sun or without light. The moon, on the other hand, correlates to the internal space. That's why you can see straight through it, because it's not necessarily even a real thing, but that's another topic. But it correlates to the internal space, feelings and emotions and the subconscious. Now, currently, the moon is still waxing. That means it's filling up. Remember, in our last episode, we was talking about the new moon.
Right.
It's nothing. So now we got to fill back up to the full moon. We're still in the 2-week cycle of when the moon is filling up. We are supposed to be putting in energy work and being doing things that's productive for whatever you got going on. So whether you have been investing in your ideas and working on something or not, you still have time to put that energy work towards whatever goal, behavior, correction that you may need to do, character development, or whatever it may be. And today is on this Good Tuesday, the moon is in the late degrees of Gemini and it's going into Cancer. So we know that the moon changes energy or changes signs every 2.5 days. The moon is between Gemini and Cancer at the moment. And since the moon changes signs or energies every 2.5 days, all day yesterday and some of the day before that, the moon was in Gemini fully. And you likely had a lot of communication and or a lot of thoughts going on, whether it was you overthinking, gossiping, collecting information, or just a lot of conversations going on.
A lot of stuff was going on yesterday.
Whether it was you overthinking, gossiping, collecting information, or just a lot of conversations going on. Either way, there's been a lot of fast mental activity unless you've been asleep or not really living in sync with life and you stuck in previous cycles. But we're going to hope that most people still see, the regular flow of life in their everyday and day. Understand that thoughts turn into and should direct your feelings and vice versa. It go both ways. This is a natural thing. This is a natural order. Gemini being an air sign, and we got to know that Gemini and air specifically, because we got more than just one sign, it relates to air. Air is correlated to communication, thoughts, and mental activity. But it's in the moon at the moment, which is your internal space, and it's shifting into Cancer. Keep in mind, Cancer is a water sign, and water is naturally representation of emotions. So as we ease into this internal moon state of emotions, everything that you've been realizing mentally and thinking about and communicating about is transmuting and beginning to shape your emotional state. So Cancer represents the heart space. And these internal and emotional realizations can get emotional real fast. So at this point, the things that you've been thinking about has built into it and set into your emotions. And it's for you to watch how you respond, because you're going to respond with your emotions. You react with your thoughts or how you thinking about something. That's what causes your reaction.
I try my best not to do that.
But if you're living in sync, it's healthy. Sometimes things need to be reacted on, and if you already know what you're doing and you have a purpose and an intention on the reason why you feel like you feel, how you thinking, it could be that was needed. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
So now here's the thing about what's going on in the air right now. Everybody's going to be reacting to their thoughts and feelings at the moment because everybody is experiencing their own independent realities in the same atmosphere, in the same world that we're in. But how you react, that depends on what you've been doing during the build-up. So that's why I was saying about building and putting in energy work towards whatever it is you're trying to accomplish or working on. And that could be something physical, that could be something internal, that could be mental, whatever it could be. When you move with intentions in your everyday life, you're really protecting yourself, from reacting out of impulse. Because remember, the sun is in Aries. Aries, if y'all know Aries, y'all know Aries is very impulsive and fast and reactive. So being that the sun is in Aries, at the moment, you could be reacting based off your emotions impulsively if you ain't paying attention during this time.
Right.
So, but if you're very intentional, this gives your actions purpose, and it helps you to respond in the right way in different situations instead of just going off. So God got y'all, but stay on your toes and stay intentional. And whatever you started, don't stop now.
Lord Joe on that. Man, I want to say something. The other day you were speaking about, the sun gonna be the sun.
The spring gonna be spring, fall gonna be fall. Mm-hmm.
And it made me think about something, man. When I went back and I thought about something you said, man, it made me think about the sun. When you were just talking about the sun, it made me think about, like, a lot of time, man. I told my daughter, and shout out to Laisha. I told my daughter one day, I said, Mom, you gotta understand, because I call her Mom. I said, Mom, you gotta understand that no matter what go on in their life, the sun gonna rise. Mm-hmm. No matter what. It don't matter rain, sleep, or snow. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna rise. I said, you gotta do the same thing. Mm-hmm. You gotta continue to ride like the sun and keep shining.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I had to tell her that, man, because a lot of time, man, we don't realize that. You know, we don't take, you know, just nature, how nature can teach us things.
And it's a time and a place for everything.
Yep.
Just like the sun shine, it do go down, but it's for it to come back and shine again.
Right.
That don't stop. So it's okay to be. It's not. I ain't saying it's okay to be low and depressed. It's okay to be to yourself and introverted for if so sometimes it's needed. You know what I'm saying? But it's not for you to stay there. It ain't never for you to stay there because the moon switches every 2.5 days. That's something that
you gotta keep rising. You gotta keep rising no matter what.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No matter what, you gotta keep rising.
Something that helped me is to understand that the moon do change every 2.5 days. So that means it shifts every few minutes. So I might feel like this today or in this moment, but guess what? In the next 30 minutes, I ain't gonna feel like that. And if you realize that, that'll help you to understand what's going on right now. Don't last always.
Right. I just know, like with me, man, I don't know. Lately, the mind state for the past 3 years, not going on 3 years, my mind state been, you know, just focusing on my family, you know what I'm saying, work, and man, I don't want to sound bad when I say that, but there's a lot of stuff I really just ain't been caring about, like things that I realized that I can't control. You get what I'm saying? And the things that I can't control, man, I just kind of don't really let them stress me, man. It is what it is, and you know, it's gonna be what it's gonna be, and I just keep moving from now. You know what I'm saying? And I just try to wake up on a happy note every morning. Some days I ain't way up here, but I ain't way down here either. Right. You know what I'm saying? I may be somewhere in the middle, you know what I'm saying? But I'm still Apollo, you know what I'm saying? I'm still low at the end of the day, and I just try to make sure that every morning, man, I'm checking my energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm checking my energy the same way I check on my kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm checking my mind. I'm checking my mental, my everything about me. I'm checking it before I hit the door.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
important.
I try to make sure I'm in the right space. And if I'm not in the right space, I try not to be around too many people.
Yeah,
you know
that's the introverted moment. Sometimes you got to have that because you know you nature just like everything else is.
And so listen, man, this Mob Town real talk, and I just want y'all to know that, man, when we come on here, we just being ourselves, we just being authentic with you. We trying to learn with you guys. We trying to grow with you guys. And even when we on here making mistakes, we want you to see that. You know what I'm saying? We want y'all to just be able to resonate with just ordinary people on an everyday basis. And man, you know, like we want to tell y'all, man, just always, if you can, like, subscribe. You know, we missed out on that the last time, but I ain't missing out on y'all today.
Right, like, subscribe, and share. Also, if y'all have any up and coming events that y'all want announced, or any birthday shout outs or anything of the sort, y'all need to email us at the link at the website below, mobtownrealtalk at gmail.com, or y'all can go to our IG or our Facebook and hit us up.
Most definitely.
You got any announcements?
Nah, man. You got anything you want to? Oh, you got anything you want to announce?
No. We still got those free tickets though. If y'all want to go see this blues concert, it's in Dothan, Alabama. We still got the free tickets. So hit us up if y'all would like to go. Man,
hit us up so y'all can get these tickets, man. I know somebody want to party. Shoot, you said it's in Dothan. Quentin, I know you at work, man. Listen, bro, you up that way, ain't it? Hey, come holler at us, get these tickets, man. Listen, but
September the 26th.
September the 26th, man. Dothan, Alabama. Go check it out, man. Hey, y'all know what it is, man. It's Mob Town Real Talk. It's Let's Talk About It Tuesday. I'm your host, Lo.
This Jackie New.
Listen, and we out.